Am I the asshole for not answering my husband when he called? Husband is in a huge snit about this and has taken himself to the spare room over it. Tonight was the first time since giving birth 7 months ago that I have been out at night, by which I mean I didn't do baby's bedtime feed and routine. I left to go to the cinema with a friend shortly before his bedtime routine would begin. Husband used to help for the first 3 months with evenings but has since said he's too busy, tired from work, so I do it. I talked him through baby's routine, the room temp, lighting, noise etc. preferences he has, and husband assured me he had everything under control. The move barely started when I started getting calls from husband. I texted to ask him what was wrong and he said baby wasn't sleeping. I texted him back with reminders of how baby prefers things and he said he had done it all. I checked the baby monitor, camera covers most of the room, and could see that the room lights were on, the white noise machine was off, and he hadn't tucked baby into his blanket. I texted him to say as much and he started calling me again despite knowing I'm in the theater. He texted me to come home and put baby to bed. I told him I was sure he had everything in hand and put my phone on D&D. I did periodically check on baby via the monitor and he was okay once husband actually followed the sleep routine. After the movie I saw that husband had continued to call me for like the next hour after we last spoke. When I got home he started arguing with me for ignoring his calls and berating me because I left him alone. I offered to show him bedtime for the last 2 days before going out and he didn't want to know. Am I the asshole for ignoring his calls and not helping with baby? Not the asshole. Your husband needs to pull his weight with regards to parenting. You were proactive in offering to show him beforehand. I think the solution is you tell him that he needs to take turns with you doing the evening routines. Not the asshole. This is called malicious willful ignorance on your husband's part. He didn't know what to do because he didn't want to know what to do. He wanted you to come home and do it for him. He needs to face the fact that he's a father now, and being a father means dealing with the everyday stuff of having a baby, like feeding and putting the kid to bed. Don't back down, or you'll be feeling like a single parent for a long time. Husband used to help for the first 3 months with evenings but has since said he's too busy, tired from work, so I do it. Tell him that you're tired too sometimes, but you suck it up and do it cause it's your responsibility as a parent, and that moving forward, you expect him to pitch in his fair share as the contributor of half of baby's DNA. When I got home he started arguing with me for ignoring his calls and berating me because I left him alone. Scott, I gave you all the information you need to put baby to sleep. Why did you keep calling me when you knew I was busy with something? Do some research on weaponized incompetence. Not the asshole. Not the asshole shit. One night out? This is going to be an issue. I feel badly for you. On the plus side, many babies who are fussy sleepers at this age settle down when they're about a year old. It's interesting that you saw on the monitor that once he followed your instructions, it worked, and yet he still kept calling you. Is he aware you knew the baby was settled when he was harassing you? Or is he trying to say the baby was still awake? He is punishing you for going out and you need to nip this in the bud now. It is embarrassing that a dad does not know how to put his 7-month-old to bed. He obviously needs much more practice and you should tell him so. Not the asshole. You deserve some time to yourself, and your husband should have been able to handle putting a 7-month-old baby to bed. The fact that he still doesn't know how to do this after 7 months says a lot about him. You tried to show him, he said he didn't need the help, that's on him. I think your husband needs to step up his game quite a bit. Being tired after work does not excuse him from being a parent. Am I the asshole for making my wife order off the kids' menu or share a meal with me? My wife has never been a big eater. That's fine, and I don't have a problem with it. What I do have a problem with is that my wife is somehow also a greedy eater. She always prefers a large variety of foods together at a time, just in smaller portions. At home, this is annoying, but it's manageable. When we go out to eat though, it becomes a nightmare. She will order whatever can get her the most variety of options, ignoring the cost. She will add sides, appetizers, and desserts to her meal, only to eat 1 or 2 bites of each thing she orders. Maybe this would be manageable if she ate leftovers, but she refuses to, so all the food just ends up going to waste. Most of the time, I find myself ordering small meals and eating what remains of her orders just to try and justify it, but I don't like 90% of what she orders and just want to eat my own damn meal. A week ago, I got incredibly annoyed when she ordered herself a full rack of ribs and an appetizer only to eat like 20% of each. I only ordered a salad so I could finish the rest off, but I hated the sauces she chose for the ribs and most of the appetizer went untouched. As we were leaving, I told her that I'm sick of spending $40+ on her alone for food she does not end up finishing. I told her that from now on, she can either order 2 things off the kids' menu or we can work out something we both will enjoy and share. She ignored me and thought I was not serious. Well, last night we went out to a wing place. As we sat down, I asked for a kids' menu and she got confused. When we started talking and I told her that she either needed to order off the kids' menu or share with me, she got quiet and refused to talk to me and started saying that I'm insulting and belittling her. We ended up going out into the parking lot and having a fight before she got an Uber home. She's not talking to me now, and this morning I got a call from her dad screaming at me for what I did. I'm having second thoughts now about this. Wasting food like that is a serious peeve for me. I'm going with a not the asshole here. But I think your execution of your frustration could have been better. Look for buffets to eat. I'm the same way, I love a variety but don't eat much. I always get a salad that has a little of everything, or go to a buffet. Why don't you go to a tapas bar? Small portions, wide variety. I had to lol cuz you asked for a kid's menu for your wife. The next day her daddy calls screaming at you. Kind of makes the puzzle pieces fit in my opinion lol. Daddy, my husband said I am a kid. Oh no, daddy will fix it for you, less than G. Okay, not the asshole cuz you did talk to her about wasting food, wasting money. Is this the first time you've ever expressed your feelings about this? If so, then letting behavior continue until you are boiling over isn't healthy for you or for her. Do you have any buffets nearby that would allow her to have a few bites of this or that instead of ordering entrees? You are entitled to order and eat what you want, not to just eat whatever scraps she leaves for you. Easy solution. Go Dutch when you dine out, each pay your own way. Then she can waste, or not waste, money, food. And you don't have to worry about it. Seriously, if she's paying for her own food, say nothing and let her make her own choices. Also don't eat her leftovers. ETA be kind, not snarky, when you suggest this. I'd suggest apologizing for embarrassing her with the kids' menu that was pretty condescending and say, it probably makes the most sense if we go Dutch in the future. That way you can order whatever you like, I can order whatever I like, and we don't fight. Info. Has she explained why she felt the need to do that? Is this a cultural thing? Is this a home training thing? Is it a mental thing? Why does she do that? Am I the asshole for not splitting an inheritance? I'm a 29F. I'm one of 5 children. 32, 25, 24, 21. When I was 9 my father got into a bad accident, which left him wheelchair-bound and needing around-the-clock care at first. Months later my mother picked up and left my father for another man. Fortunately, my grandparents were able to step in and took over my father's care while caring for my siblings and me. I was 11 when they divorced. My mother came back for my siblings and I, but I refused to leave. It's not like she fell off the face of the earth. She would call, visit, and was still there if we needed something. I, on the other hand, resented my mother. Life got hard for her, and she ran like a coward. Anyhow my siblings went to live with her, I did not. Often, I would visit but my resentment became too much especially when she became pregnant with the other man's child. They got married and moved away basically ceasing contact. I heard from her on some holidays and birthdays. That's about it. I was 16 when I learned she'd asked my father to relinquish his rights so that her husband could adopt my siblings. Honestly, I think it broke my father's heart, because my siblings did turn their backs on him. He'd tried to initiate going to visit them and calling, but they really didn't want anything to do with him. He was adamant he wasn't, but I guess he talked to my siblings, and they stated this is what they wanted, so he did. My GPs are now deceased. I've been my father's full-time caregiver for the last 7 years. After years of continuous fighting for justice, my father finally received it, in a huge settlement. At the beginning of this year his health took a turn for the worse, within months he was gone. I've been estranged from my mother and siblings since I was a teenager, but once she heard of my father's passing, she reached out. I honestly didn't think too much of it because I thought she was reaching out to give her condolences like everyone else. Not the case. She wanted to know why I hadn't reached out to her and my siblings. That they were going to need their part of their inheritance soon. I honestly didn't know how to respond but be brutally honest. I told her the moment he relinquished his rights, they no longer were his children per her request. I asked was she drunk? She said no. Then I responded she had to be stupid calling me thinking they were entitled to anything. Of course, she's gotten other family involved stating that I'm in the wrong and that my father was aware that my siblings still considered him their father. BS. Edit. My father did have a will naming me as his sole heir. Also thanks for the condolences and encouraging words. Not the asshole. She made all this possible. Hope your siblings are happy with her now. Good for you for caring for your father. I hope you enjoy your inheritance. You earned it. Did he leave a will? You'd better G-er a lawyer. I bet she won't go quietly. Edit. ADDL comments and question. Not the asshole. It's not your job to cater to your family's needs when they never had the decency to care about yours. Not the asshole. He was their father, fought to be their father, and the children said they didn't want him to. Why do they suddenly change their mind? You cared for your father on your own. Sacrificed years of your life to care for him and help him get justice. They don't deserve anything. Although I'd reach out to a lawyer and examine your father's will to see what your responsibilities are regarding his inheritance in case. Not the asshole. This screams of entitlement. Make sure you have documentation of him relinquishing his rights to the siblings so they don't contest it. She wanted to know why I hadn't reached out to her and my siblings. That they were going to need their part of their inheritance soon. Info. Do you mean just your sibs expect an inheritance from their ex-father, or does your mother expect an inheritance too? Because that would take a hell of a lot of nerve. Also, once a child is released for adoption at their request, wouldn't that mean they would not have a claim on any estate as they are no longer a legal child of that person? I hope you have a good lawyer. Sounds like you'll need one. Huge settlements usually draw the vermin out of the woodwork. Not the asshole. They don't deserve one damn cent. Am I the asshole for laughing at my sister's anniversary gift to her husband? Throwaway and fake names. My, 24F, sister Zara, 31F, and husband Will, 35M, recently had their first wedding anniversary and invited some family over for a small anniversary dinner. Long story short, after dessert Zara said she had a gift for Will. I thought it was going to be some grand gesture, but then Zara gave him a painting she did of Will and his late dad. Now, Zara does art as a hobby and she's a very good artist and I get the sentimental value of it, but I sort of let out a laugh because it seemed like she was half-assing giving him a painting instead of a proper gift. Me and my boyfriend give nice gifts and splurge on one another, but I didn't say anything because not everyone's the same. Zara noticed though and asked why I laughed. I tried to play it off. She kept insisting, so I said I thought it was funny she was half-assing her husband's anniversary gift. She looked hurt. Will said he loves the painting and I was a idiot. We left after that, but was I wrong for laughing? I literally didn't say anything and it was Zara who kept insisting. You are the asshole. Sounds like a lovely gift. You must be very shallow to consider that half-assing. You are the asshole. It was an extremely thoughtful gift that took more effort than simply throwing money at it. You are the asshole. She put more effort into her gift than you ever do. All you do is get out your credit card, and you think you're better because of it. You are the asshole, and a snobby one at that. You are the asshole. I'd take a hand-painted sentimental gift over some expensive gift any day. Hope this is rage bait and not some clueless person who thinks price is better versus sentimental. You are the asshole. So she gave him a thoughtful and appropriate gift, paper anniversary, that involved personal effort on her part and you minimize it? That's mean-spirited of you. Glad your boyfriend and you value material goods more than each other. Seems Zara and will have a good future in front of them. Edit, a word.